Hey, welcome to my portfolio about the final year project portal. This is a management system I built for Comsat University Islamabad. My name is Kashif Abbas Kazmi and I'm going to show you how this system works. It basically handles everything from when students submit their project ideas all the way to final evaluation. So why did I build this? Well, the old way of managing final year project was really manual. Students had to submit paper documents, teacher had to schedule evaluations by hand, grading was done on paper forms. There was no single system to keep track of everything. This caused problems. Students could not see their progress. Teachers had too much paperwork, and it was hard to check if the work was original. To fix this, I talked to students, teachers, and coordinators to understand what they needed. The main problem were communication was slow, scheduling evaluations was complicated, there was no way to check for copied work, and everyone was using different tools. So I built a web-based system that handles everything automatically from idea submission to final grades. Let me explain how the system is built. I used a layered approach. The frontend uses Next.js 15 with React 19. This makes page load fast. The API layer handles all the backend logic and checks who can access what. I use Prisma to work with the database, PostgreSQL to store all the data. Here's important decision I made. I run all the AI services on the same server, not an external services. Comsat University required this because of privacy rules. All student work, code, and grades have to stay on the university servers. So I put all the AI models, text detection, code analysis, similarity checking into the same server. This way, all the data stays inside the university. We have full control over the data. I do not depend on outside services, and it follows the university rules. The AI services run separately but talk to the main app through APIs. This make it easy to update them or add new one later. Let me show you what technologies I used. For the front end, I used Next.js 15. It handles both the website and the API. React 19 for the user interface, TypeScript to catch errors early, and Tailwind CSS for styling. For the backend, I use Prisma to work with the database, PostgreSQL to store data, and for login, I use NextAuth with JWT tokens. For AI features, I have four services. One that detects if text was written by AI, one that checks AI code analysis, one that finds similar project ideas, and one that reads documents. All of these runs on a separate Python services and they talk to each other and main app through APIs. Now let me show you the system. It supports different types of users, students, faculties who can be supervisor, evaluators, FAP leads, program in charge, HOD, admin, and external evaluators. The cool thing is that one person can have multiple roles at the same time. For example, a teacher can have both a supervisor and evaluator, and it can also be a program in charge or FAP lead. Let me show you how the multi-role system works. I'm going to log in as an admin of system, and I have already logged in a supervisor, basically a faculty who is a supervisor and a committee member, and I also log in a student. Watch what happens to sidebar. It changes based on the what role is active. The system only shows the menu items that are relevant to that role. This keeps everything simple and makes sure users can access everything they need. This is not just a front-end trick. The backend also checks what permissions on every request. Even if someone tries to hack the front-end, the backend checks their role and permissions before allowing anything. I check permissions in multiple places to make sure no one can access things they should not. When a user log in, their active role is stored in session. Every time they make a request, the backend checks two things. First, are they logged in? Second, does their role allow this action? This stops people from accessing features they should not have access to. Now let me show you students' complete journey from signing up to getting their final grade. This will show you how the system handles real situations and tricky cases. Students can sign up themselves by entering their email, registration number, program, and badge. Let me add a dummy student. Let me add PSC 111. It can be like Ahmed Ali. Let me add a fake word so this user does not get an email from our testing account. Let me add a special character, and we click hit register button. Now our system has saved the record of student registration, but they can't just start using the system. A faculty who has to approve them first, usually a program in charge, FAP lead, HOD, or admin. This makes sure only real students can get in. Now let me jump to admin panel. This is the admin panel, and if you come in student account review registrations tab, here an admin or faculty can see all the students waiting for approval. They check the students info and can either approve or reject them. If they reject, they have to give a reason. Once approved, the student gets an email and can log in. Now let me log in with our new created account, which is SP22. It was 111. Let me enter password. Basically, this is the account the admin recently approved. After logging in, student needs to form groups. They can either create a new group or become the leader, or ask to join someone else group. The group leader can accept and reject the request. The system limits how many students can be in a group, usually 2 or 3. Let me to create a group for for Ahmed Ali. Now a group is created and he is the leader of the group. He can add a new member directly. The system handles tricky situations well. If a student is already in a group, they cannot create or join another one. If a group already has a project, new members cannot join. The system keeps the records of all the changes, which helps if there are any problems later. Let me show you. This is the admin account. If we come in student groups, and if we go into detail of one of the group of like Kashif Abbas Kazmi, let me go to some other one, the deployables. And here we have a full group history, when which member was added in a group, and if it was removed and removed by the leader or removed by itself. It has a full records of group joining and removing members. So if anything goes wrong, admin or any other faculty can audit them later. Once students are in a group, they can propose a new idea. The form will ask for title, description, how they will do it, what tools they will use, and what they expect to achieve. This gives users enough info to understand the project. Now let me fill a form on behalf of Ahmed Ali. Let me just add this last one. Basically, this is proposing this new idea in the system. When a student submit an idea, the systems immediately check if it is similar to existing ideas using ML model. It compares the new idea to all the other ideas and flags potential duplicates. If it finds something similar, it warns the student. But our submitted idea is unique, and similar idea was not already built, or similar idea was already not proposed by student or supervisor. That's why it got submitted successfully in our system. Here in my group ideas, they have a record of all submitted ideas. When a supervisor view their ideas, the system will count one view per one supervisor, and supervisor also give a like to proposed ideas. Let me add a new idea similar, which is already submitted in our system by another student. Now let me add this idea to our form. Basically, I similarly pick up an idea of another student, and I just ask ChatGPT to rephrase this idea totally, but keep the idea same with different word. Now let me propose this idea. Now our system has detected this. A similar idea is already proposed by someone else, whose name is Rashid Mukhtar, and he is a faculty of the system. He proposed the idea on 21 August, and the idea was this, which got similar score of 79.8%. Basically, we are using a minimal ML model, BGE M3, which is using an embedding vectors, and we are comparing the vector score of new idea with the existing idea and already built projects. So they have option to edit their idea. So in this way, we are securing to make project duplicates, and also it is acting like a patent system. If a student propose an unique idea, and it will be the intellectual property of that student or that supervisor. No one else can propose similar idea to system. Here is a idea library of supervisor ideas for students. Students can see which ideas are available and which are already taken. Student can hit a like button to a supervisor idea. And similarly, in supervisor side, if we come to Sir Rashid Mukhtar, who is a supervisor, they have also access to all the proposed student ideas, as this one is proposed by Ahmed Ali. And if we go back to student side, here is a cool feature, idea collaboration. A supervisor proposes an idea and a student group wants to work on it. The student sends a request which notifies the faculty, or basically a supervisor. The supervisor can look at the student group profile and decide whether to accept or reject. We are getting this message because I already sent request for this idea. And if we come to supervisor side, in request button, and if we switch to request receive tab, here is a request by Ahmed Ali. Let me first show you this idea status. It is in proposed one, and if we come back into request, when the supervisor accepts, the idea status change from proposed to under collaboration or accepted one. The student groups, it is linked to it. And if we go back here, now it is in confirmed state. This keeps a clear record of how ideas become projects. Once the idea is confirmed and a supervisor is assigned, the system automatically creates a project. It copies all the info from the idea. At this point, the idea status changes to project created, and other groups cannot use it idea anymore. And we have a new created project. And if we come to student side, This info will also be shown in my project section of Ahmed Ali. Now this project is created on 4th of January at 11:30 p.m. Now let looks at deliverables. Admin or HOD or any senior member of department can create a deliverables for every batch. They set deadlines, write instructions, and attach templates if needed, and say whether GitHub links and or videos are required. Some students can see all their deliverables with a clear deadlines and whether they have submitted or not. When submitting, students can upload multiple files, write description, and add a video link if needed. The system check file types and sizes and automatically mark submissions as late if they are not submitted after the deadline. If a GitHub link is required by a deliverable and the students have to provide it. Let me test. This is the deliverable which needs GitHub URL to attach with this account. Now let me upload a one file, and if we hit a hand in button, this deliverable also required a video link. Let me add also a dummy video link, and if we click a enter button, this will ask us to add a GitHub URL with the profile. So we have to go into the settings page. The students have to provide a GitHub URL here. Now let me add one of my URL. The system does several checks. It makes sure the URL is accessible, valid, checks that the repo is accessible, and can run over the AI code analysis to check the code quality. This all happens in the background, and the supervisors can see the results later. Now student can give submission to that deliverable. Let me do that. Now if it hit this end in button, it will allow to submit their submission. Now one of the most important powerful features which is available to student itself, to supervisor for their student groups, or to admin, FAP lead, HOD, program in charge, to run a AI code analysis for student groups in CS department. Let me show you how this works. If student clicks on open repo button, sorry, we have to go into the GitHub Insights. This same page is visible to the supervisor, admin, program in charge, FAP lead. When this page is open, it fetch all the relevant insights like commits, contributor, pull requests, active stars, repository age, programming languages. Basically, we are getting all these information from GitHub platform. Basically, this is helping evaluators or faculty of the ComStats University to understand how many contributors are involved in this repo, and how every contributor did how much work. When a student click on analyze repo button, the system connects to GitHub, downloads the code temporarily, and runs our code but AI detector. It checks several things: code quality, like how complex it is, whether code might be copied from comparing patterns, whether code was written by the AI, and overall code structure. Now it fetch the basic insights of the repo, like total files, total size, total languages used, and there is a documentation for model which our system is using, and we have option for individual file analysis, and we have also option to do a code analysis of bulk. Now let me click on analyze 49 files button. Now it skips the basic two files which don't need AI analysis check. It's showing basic progress bar, insights like file analyze, file skipped. So evaluator or faculty member can know the progress of AI model. Here are the results. The system shows how original the code is, the complexity scores, what patterns it found, and suggestions for improvement. This helps supervisors and faculty members of department find students who need help and make sure code meet quality standards. If the system finds potential copy or AI generated code, it flags it for the supervisors and committee members, but it does not automatically reject submissions. It just shows evidence. Supervisors can see which code sections are flagged, the similarity percentages, and then decide what to do. Now similarly, there is option for AI text detector for student and faculty members to do AI analysis of their text documents. Like if we come into our project and this is our scope, and we click hit on upload button, it will do first parsing using a Python server. After completing parsing, it will automatically upload all text in editor, and if we click on analyze text button, it will start doing AI analysis using our ML model. The analysis will show how likely the text is AI generated, any copied content it found, writing quality scores, and details about specific sections. Faculty can see these results along with the submissions, so they can make good decisions. The system does not replace human judgment, it just gives teachers tools to help. If a document looks like it might be an AI generated, supervisors can talk to students about how they did their work. The system is fair in several ways. All students go through these same checks. Results are clear and can be reviewed. The system shows evidence but does not make automatic decisions, and there is always a person making the final call. This combination of AI analysis and human judgment creates a strong system for keeping things honest. Now let's look at the evaluation process from the admin side. If we come on admin side and if we go into evaluation setup section, basically this is all the existing active deliverable is shown to admin, and if we come within any of one of them, This is the most complicated part. Faculty with the right permissions can create the evaluation timeline, basically having a duration per project time, and we have a start time and end date, start date, daily start time, daily end time. They can create a committee and assign a member to them, and then under the committee they can create a small teams. Here's where the automation is really useful. Once the evaluation period and a committee are set, the system automatically creates the schedule. It checks when faculty are available, avoid conflicts, and fits everything in. It sends emails to committee members and students with their scheduled timeline. Here we can send notifications. And now, if we switch again to back faculty, who is a supervisor and a committee member also at a time, and there in under evaluation page, they have option to view their assigned evaluations. If we click on that, these are the all deliverables whose have committee has created, and my current faculty is the member of that committee. And there we have some deliverable information, and it is whether it is graded by me or not, like login current faculty, so they can track on which grades have they have provided. And there is option for toggle. Here we can see the full idea of the project which was created during the project creation, so faculty know what's going on behind that project. Now if we come any one of the evaluation page, during evaluation, evaluator sees everything they need: the student submissions, attach files, GitHub link if provided, and a rubric to fill out. The rubrics make sure everyone evaluates the same way. Evaluators can grade each part, write comments, and recommend projects for expo if they are really good. Now let me add some dummy rubric values and set the submission status as accepted. Recommendation has, let me add, has a recommended and good work. Now this committee member is evaluated this project, and basically also this has indication that this submission is not verified by the supervisor. This work like when the student submit a submission against deliverable, the supervisor has to view their submissions and get verify. So committee member knows the supervisor has evaluated or first verified the submissions. So system will create the average grade of the student. Average grade means it will combine the grades from all committee members of this project and will assign a average number. And if we go below, there is other committee members evaluation section. Basically this is Rashid Mukhtar who is a login, and if any other member is also evaluated this project, a new tab will be here for that. This will basically show a complete history against this average number. And if also a admin, basically an admin or FAP lead has option to update or modify the assigned marks of the committee members, then this section will show all the inactive evaluations done by committee member. Like if this same evaluation is updated by the any other powerful faculty like an admin or FAP lead, then this existing evaluation will become as inactive, and that updated evaluation will become active and with the short message updated by committee, updated by faculty name and with their email. So everyone have a track who have updated evaluation and why it updated this evaluation. We have also a full detail here in evaluation, and there is also some other options for faculty. Basically this faculty is a supervisor and a committee member both at the same time. There is a busy slots option, so committee member or basically a faculty can add a busy slots of the week, so the evaluation schedule generation can now the busy slots of the assigned member in committee and can skip the slot or can assign another member to the schedule. It has also a system-wide template documents links. Basically these template documents can be STS document, SRS template document, scope template document. And if you come in the meeting logs, basically these are the track for the meetings happened between a group, student group, and a supervisor. So committee members or admin HODs or FAP leads can know which meetings were happened between supervisor and students. Basically if the supervisor add a meeting logs by itself, it will automatically get the status of verified, and if a student submit a meeting logs, the supervisor need to verify that meeting log. Similarly, on admin side, they have also different options to view all the faculties, all the students accounts, assign the roles as a FAP lead, FAP in charge. They can also assign HOD to the system. They can also create a committee members list, admin list, and basically they have also option to add the faculties in bulk, add students registration in bulk. They have different options for projects, students, groups. They can view a system-wide groups or projects, all inactive or completed projects. They have all the deliverables, students submitted or supervisor submitted ideas option. They can view and modify the existing evaluations done by the committee members. They can also change the supervisor evaluation marks. They can also create external evaluators. They can also make a rubrics against this. These are rubrics to a super committee member will assign the marks during evaluation. The admin can also view all the meeting logs happened between students and supervisors. They have option to do code analysis against any group in the system, so it can do a GitHub analysis at any time. Basically admin have a full control of the system. They can do a text redaction, they can upload template documents, they can review busy slots of the faculty members, or it can add a new busy slot or modify existing busy slot. Basically, they have also an option for the student feedback. It can communicate with the students of the system to overcome any problem facing by the students. They have also option to send announcements to all faculties or specific faculty types. It can also send email notifications to specific batch students. Like if we come here for the software engineering and if we choose a batch, and this will add in a queue system or add a coherent, and if we add a subject and a message, it will send an email message to all the students of this batch. Similarly, this will work for the faculties. Then there is a reporting system for senior faculties, in which they can generate a transcript of the students. This will generate against a already set weightage. If we click on for 2025 transcript generation, it will generate a detailed transcript against this specific student group, and it will automatically assign calculate the overall total obtained marks against the set weightage. It can also download the PDF. It have also a different report system. They can view the full report of any batch of CS department. Like if we view this, it will showing total groups, total students. It can view the failed students under FAP1, failed students under FAP2, full transcripts. In the evaluation reports, they can view the overall evaluation progress done by any committee. Like if we go in this is the deliverable, and we are checking the basically. Let me go into the another evaluations report. Like here we are already created a committee and assigned this deliverable for evaluation, and admin can view the progress of that committee. Like this committee have evaluated only two projects till now, and four projects are still remaining for evaluation. They can view which committee member have evaluated how many groups. So admin have a full control to view what is going on under the committee hood. It has also a supervisor report system, in which they can view all the active and completed projects of the supervisor. They can go deep with any of the information. Like if we click on specific student name, all these special details of that student will be shown to the admin or any other senior faculty member. Their all the submitted submissions, their obtained grades, supervisor grades, their details. Similarly, it can see the group name of the student, and if we click on the group, system will show all the members, all submissions done by the students, all the member history, like who joined this group, when they have left it that group. Full history will be shown to the admin or any other senior faculty. And at the end, there is option for system configuration setting. In this, admin HOD and can set the thresholds, like idea similarity threshold. It can set the idea similarity years, how many years should we check for idea duplication. Maximum idea display, like if more than 5 or more than set limit have idea duplication, then only show top 5 duplicated ideas or projects. They can also bypass the idea duplication checking. It can also set the threshold for the AI text analysis. It can also set the threshold or minimum evaluators requirement for the committee creation. The admin can also directly update GitHub personal access token. It can also update the email settings. It can also set the app passwords and app email. It can also change the university name, university department name, or faculty name, admin name. So this project can also work for the different campus of the ComSets. And at the end, they have option to allow student self-registration, or it can disable student self-registration. This can help to on self-registration only during new semester starting dates. Let me quickly summarize the different user roles. Admin student can propose ideas, form groups, submit work, view their grades, and talk to supervisors. Supervisors have different faculty have different roles. Supervisors manage their project and grade students. Evaluators join evaluation committees. FAP lead manage batches and settings. Program in charge manage their program students and teachers. And admin and HOD will have a full access. The system makes sure each user only sees what relevant to them. A supervisor sees their projects, and evaluator sees their evaluations, and admin sees everything. This keeps things simple and secure. Let me quickly recap the main features. We have user and group management, FAP idea library with collaboration, deliverable and submission system with automatic tracking, evaluation system with rubric grading, supervisor student tools including meeting logs, reports and analytics, real-time notifications, and AI powered checks for honesty. The system creates reports, batch reports showing overall performance, automatic transcript generation for completed FAPs, evaluation summaries for supervisors. The FAP portal is currently running on ComSets University Islamabad servers. It's being used right now and managing multiple batches and hundreds of students. All services, including the AI models, run on the university server, so all data stays inside the university. The deployment includes the main Next.js app, PostgreSQL database, and all AI services running locally on server. The systems can handle more students and projects as it grows. Looking ahead, we plan to deploy this to ComSets Sahiwal and Vihari campuses. This will help standardize FAP management across all ComSets campuses. Thanks for watching this portfolio video. The FAP portal shows not just technical skills in full stack development and AI, but also the ability to understand real problems, gather requirements well, and deliver a working solution that meets the university needs. I am happy to answer any questions you might have.